What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pretenders and Contenders Coaches Show. I am your host, Coach Devon Powell, back with you today. All right, my co-host, Midnight Rider. He's not with us right now, but he may pop in later. He has a show later tonight. It's a busy day on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network tonight. We just finished up with the drive time with Matty Ice. Now it's time for Pretenders or Contenders. And then we got in the passenger seat, a special in the passenger seats coming up at 8 o'clock tonight. So busy day on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. And you know me, I usually go over time. So I guess I'm going to have to get started right away today. I'm going to go jump straight into it and bring in our first guest. We got Coach Marcus Jackson, Law High School Wrestling, coming to the stage right now. Also, one of our football coaches, assistant baseball coach, water boy, trainer, assistant AD, whatever you want to call him. You know, Coach Marcus does it all. What's going on, man?
What's going on, Coach? How's it going, man?
Man, it's going good, man. Appreciate you taking some time to join us today. I know you're just leaving the field. I just left before you, so I understand what's going on. We'll touch bases later on how practice went.
Oh yeah.
But we got you on here today, man. Pick your mind, your brain a little bit, man, and give us a little insight on the world of wrestling in PG County, man. So, as we always do, just give us a little background on your coaching journey, man, and how you got started in the coaching wrestling.
Oh man, so it started right after high school. To be honest with you, I was looking for a spot to work out in, and rest in peace to the GOAT, Coach P. He gave me the opportunity just to come in the room, work out with the guys, just be a body in there, right? And then our good friend Coach Ox see me in there one day. He said, Mark, you got to get fingerprinted if you want to be in the building, big homie. So I took that long drive down to the Sassa building. This is a funny story, by the way. The guy looked at my ID. He said, you're supposed to be 21 to be a coach, right? And I said, yeah. And he looked at it. He signed my paper and said, go do your thing. I said, all right, got you. And I've been stuck ever since.
Hey, man. We all got a funny story how we got into coaching. So I'll get into mine one day later, but that's a funny story. Adding in Midnight Rider here. What's going on, Midnight?
What's going on?
You must have been out partying late last night. So listening to how you got started, man, just briefly, man, touch on, you mentioned Coach P, man, and those of us that have been around Law High School, Parkdale High School, knew how much of impact and influence Coach P had on wrestling in the county, man, and especially at Law High School. So just touch on that briefly.
Oh yeah, man. Coach P was where he started at Suitland, like many years ago. He wasn't a wrestling guy. He was a guy that the kids trusted, and they needed a coach. And they asked Coach P to do it, and he stepped up and did it, man. And he was one of the oldest coaches for the longest until he unfortunately passed away maybe 3 years ago, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's been about 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coach P was one of those good guys, man, always got conversation for you, always around being helpful, man. And, we definitely miss him in the building.
Yeah, I know you see my recruiting skills, and I got it all from him. Like everything from recruiting, I learned from that guy.
Got anything, Midnight? You want me to keep on going?
Keep on going. I just want to catch up. Oh, first before you go, Coach Marcus Jackson, I gotta give you your props, man. You roll with us all the time. Every time I look up in the comments, I see you, and you giving us love. So I appreciate that, man. Truly do.
Yeah, I appreciate Powell for putting me on because he knows I'm a podcast man. Anytime he calls me, I'm listening to like the Joe Budden podcast, the Part of My Take podcast, or anything about sports or music, I'm listening to it.
That's what's up.
Yep.
Definitely appreciate that.
Yes, indeed. So he basically ain't got no life outside of sports. That's what he's telling us right now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, you can say the same thing about me.
Well, yeah, I guess we can, because you all around all these podcasts. You on every day going to show we got around here.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we appreciate it.
I leave you at 10-2 and hop on with Jack, because we're doing in the passenger seat tonight with the coach from Sidwell Friends, Chuck Rogers. So
yeah, that's why I said I got a hard stop at 8.
Gotta go, boss.
Yeah. All right, getting back to wrestling, man. Mark, just
Okay.
the last few years, we've been in a good spot in wrestling Law High School, man, and even for the county, man. So just touch on some of your successes over the last few years, man, and your couple of state championships that we've had. What, the last 3 years now, right?
We've had 3 in the last 4 years.
Oh, 3 in the last 4. There we go.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Come correct, baby. But now, it's just I've had some great kids that interesting sport. It's not been if you
Think you hit a dead spot on it. You back, Mark?
Can you hear his coach?
Yeah, I think he might have hit a bad spot there. Just touching on like he said, the last 3-4 years, man, we've had a individual state champion in wrestling. Started out with Alex, and I'm sorry, I can't remember his last name right now. But I think he won it at 147. And then went on to where did he go on? To Frostburg State to wrestle. Not sure if he's wrestling now. And then we had Alexander, the young lady, the female that's won back-to-back state championships. Mark, you back in your hair?
Yeah, I can hear y'all. I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, you broke out. Yeah, Alex Bellerin was his name that won it. What Alex wrestled at 147, 145?
He wrestled at 126.
Shoot, that was all wrong. All right, 126. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that, Jaden, for holding it down.
Right. All right, so go back on there, because we missed all of what you were saying.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can even take it back for you. Since 2016, we've been I'm gonna say it's funny. We've been contenders, right? We've been contenders in the county for a long time. We always had a county champion since 2016, a regional champion since 2018. But when Alex Bellerin came in, he already knew how to wrestle. He came in with full artillery. So his junior year, he won states. Senior year, he didn't win it. Unfortunately, he lost to the eventual state champion. And then Alexander Ford followed up for the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking about the individual stuff. So let's talk about the program, man, because I know I can be honest. Like when I first started coaching at Law and in high school general, I never was into wrestling. I wasn't involved in it when I played sports when I was younger, so I didn't know a lot about the sport. High school wrestling. I know about WWE, WWF, WCW. I can talk about that all day. But high competitive wrestling, man, high school wrestling, I didn't know much about, man. And over the last few years, just following you guys and watching the program build up. Explain. Just talk a little bit about how y'all started out, the current coaching staff, man, and how y'all been able to build this program up to a potential contender every year.
I mean, so we've had the same coaching staff since 2016. I mean, of course, we've added pieces here and there. Like we added Coach Jaden, we added Coach Sonny. But, me, Coach Devon, the head coach, Coach Smoot, the assistant, and then myself, we've been rocking together since 2016. So we got some history on our backs, right? And then the thing that took us to that next level was when we had this kid. I mean, the guy, Kenneth Moore, right? Kenneth Moore was one of the most socialized guys on the planet. Very social, very nice. and a freak of nature athlete, right? Once he got good at wrestling, everybody just started clicking and following in him. We went from an 8-man team to maybe 20 right after COVID. I'm talking about like the year COVID hit, we had no season, then we had a roster of 20 the following year.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Kenneth, you mentioned Kenneth. Kenneth was one of those guys, man. I hate to say it, we lost him on the football field, man. He was a football player, and then he got into wrestling, and he left us on the field. But
I mean, hey, look, he left to go be a state placer, so I mean, it ain't really.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't mad at him, man. And he left there and went on up to McDaniel to wrestle. And is he still wrestling up there?
Oh, this is his final season.
Yeah, final season. Gotcha. All right, so highlight talk about the county, man, the landscape of wrestling in PG County. Where it is now. Like I said, it's been gaining a lot of ground in my eyes recently, man. So just speak on that a little bit.
To be full honest with you, I mean, and you know this as well, it's kind of hard in the county to get a school with more than like 8 kids, right? So, you got the top 5 schools. You got like us, Douglas, Roosevelt. I'm missing like one more. I can't think off the top of my head. But yeah, so those 5 schools, we're battling each other out. We're practicing with each other. We're contending in our regionals, and we're making it known on the state level that we are here to compete. A lot of them do. It's not an AAU circuit for wrestling. It's kind of like an open tournament type of thing. We're practicing all season, all summer long together. We're making PG County strong.
Right, and so you mentioned those schools. So how have they translated, what you guys, like you said, the strength that they have in numbers here in the county and the work that you guys are putting in together? How has that translated onto the regional rounds and then even to the state rounds as far as team competition?
I mean, team-wise, it's kind of hard, right? Because at least for our region, we got Montgomery County and we got Howard County, right? So those are guys that's been wrestling for some years, like youth wrestling type thing, right? But I will say they know when they wrestle a guy from Law, a guy from Roosevelt, and some other schools, a guy from Douglas or whoever, they just went through hell. All right, it's not a pushover. It's not he's a PG kind of guy, I'm gonna get him. No, you might get got.
So
go ahead,
in terms of the program and getting kids, like where are you kind of building or trying to get your kids from?
It's gonna sound funny, but we get the band geeks and the anime club guys. Okay. And here's the logic. Here's the logic for it.
Talking about Jaden.
I mean, Jaden's one of them, but
right.
Those are kids who will run through a brick wall for you, right? Wrestling is a sport that you have to go through the brick wall. And not even ask not one question. You got to go through the brick wall. A lot of people assume because I'm a football coach that I get my guys from football, but we maybe only get 2-3 kids from the football team, because we know for a fact if I get this anime kid, this band geek, this choir kid, he's gonna lock in. He's gonna want to be successful in this sport.
Yeah, so we got one question in the comments from my guy Matty Ice. How hard is it at the high school level to keep kids in the weight class? Easier today with more focus on nutrition than years past, or harder with more options to find foods that may not help that?
Okay, so I mean, I'm kind of the worst person to ask this question to, because our program, we don't focus on weights, right? I'm not making a kid who weighs 140 pounds cut down to 106 or 120, right? We're putting kids at their natural weight classes. Now, if you're a stud and you're about this action, I might tell you, hey, you got to go 132, 126. And they know the grind, the hustle. A typical wrestling practice, you might lose 8 to 10 pounds. And that's me being realistic. I'm talking like the room is sweating. We ran our cardio. We did 100, 500 push-ups, whatever the situation may be. But you lost about 8 to 10 pounds this practice, and you can afford to eat. I hope that answered that question.
So what makes a practice that strenuous where you're dropping 8 pounds? Is this kind of like that old boxing mentality where the room's got to be hot and you got to push the guys that way?
I think that's the best way to say it. With wrestling practice, it's continuous movement, right? You're moving your entire body all throughout practice. It's not like football right? Quarterback's throwing the arm, boom, or he's doing a handoff. That's certain body movements. In wrestling, it's your whole body going. Yeah, I'm not gonna say we cheat, but yeah, we wear layered clothes, right? So you might have on a hoodie, a long sleeve, 2 t-shirts, and maybe another hoodie on top of that, you know?
Okay. So
go ahead.
Who's your top guy or your top people right now that might be challenging for states that we might hear their name here in the near future?
Oh man, you know what? And I appreciate the fact that you said people, because wrestling is a co-ed sport, right? So off the top of my head, I got my man Sammy John Basong. He is actually currently ranked, and I know Jaden might know this number better than me. He's ranked maybe 20th, 21, 22. He's in the top 20 in the state, right? And then I got our girl Olivia Crosby, who's ranked top 15, and she's only a sophomore. So I got those 2 guys with the people, I should say. Those 2 people that should be heavy defenders for this season. And then I got my supporting cast. I got like Ethan Edmond, Caldwell Ford, Noah, Micah Aborti. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
It looks like
Olivia's 13. Yeah. Olivia's 13 and Sammy John is 15.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's Coach Jaden with all the stats. He coaches wrestling at the school, and he's also one of our football coaches as well. So
that's my stats guy right there.
yeah, that's Mr. Gamer, Mr. Anime, Mr. All of that. So Comic-Con, all that crazy stuff. So one more question for you since we got you here. You know, the last couple of years you've been the county rep for wrestling.
Regional
just touch on that.
I don't want to take Otis's spot.
So what'd you say?
I'm the regional rep.
The regional rep, yeah. Thank you for correcting me. So when you with the regional rep, you deal with a lot of different areas and a lot of different coaches. In the eyes of the coaches outside the county, where do they see PG County wrestling at?
For transparency, unless you're Laurel Roosevelt, Douglas, and I don't want to be disrespectful if I forget any other school off the top of my head, but if you're not really typically putting kids in state, they don't give a darn about you, right? Because they know PG County guys, they're just strong kids. You get them in the second period, they're gassed out, right? So it's not a lot of respect given to PG County, but I will say the kids that earn respect, they definitely earn that respect from the outside counties.
What does a typical match look like? You said something about periods. Like, what's that setup?
So it's 3 periods of 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Now that makes sense. Now I can see why you can lose 8 to 10 pounds in a practice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, I can tell you, like I said, I didn't know much about high school wrestling, but just watching it over the last, couple of years, it's a lot of work that these kids got to put in to be great at it. It's not an easy sport. You can't just come in there and think just because I'm bigger and stronger that I'm gonna be able to dominate you. You actually got to work on your craft, just like other sport. You got to work on your craft. You got to work on your technique. And I've seen smaller, look like less athletic kids, take down bigger opponents just by using their technique and stuff. So It's definitely one of those sports that you got to put in the work for.
I mean, yeah, definitely. And to be honest with you, everybody's not built for wrestling, right? It takes a lot of pride to lose on that mat because it's one-on-one, baby. And you gain a lot of pride when you win on the mat, you know. And Coach Powell, you can correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of kids who come through the wrestling program, they're prideful people because they know
Yeah.
when you get your hand raised, that's you. You did that. Not the quarterback
Yeah.
throwing you the ball, not the O-line making you a gap. You won that match.
Yep. You're right about that. You're right about that. You got anything else for Coach Marcus Midnight?
Nah, we're gonna catch him on the backside on another show later on. So we good. You almost got me, Coach. Almost caught me.
Hey, look, you gotta talk to my agent for my bookings, right?
I got you. I know him pretty well.
All right, man. Well, Marcus, we appreciate you, man. Hold on, your boy Jaden just doing a question real quick. Do you think wrestling is one of the hardest sports to win a state title for both team and individual? Even
100%.
though individual double elimination and making it easier to qualify for states.
Oh man, 100%. For transparency, you can have one bad match in your regional. You can have one bad match in your region, and you can not be a state qualifier, right? People know this as well. You could get caught one time and you're pinned just like that. You know, it's Jaden knows this as well as I do. It's kids, and I hate to talk about it. Alex Bellowin, he lost in the state quarters in like 2 seconds left on the clock, right? So it's hard. Anybody can get got. This isn't a sport where you know for a fact that you're getting the state title this year, right? And I'm not saying, oh, football, it's handed out to teams and stuff like that. No, but I'm just saying, if you win a state title, you earned it. If you have a team title, you got a team full of studs.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, Marcus, man, I appreciate it, man. And I know you're on your way in the house, man, because we got our boys coming on at 8:00. And we gotta watch that and break that down. Midnight we text throughout all the games. And hopefully it ain't frustrating text tonight.
I'm about to hit record right now, so that way it'll record when it comes on, and I can go back and watch the beginning.
Yeah, I saw a report that B-Rob is not playing tonight, man, and it looks like he might be on his way out the door.
Hey, but that lets you know they love Bill.
I think that speaks to something else. And if you want the actual answer for that question, you gotta tune in tomorrow to the Tuesday night flight and get my real answer.
Gotcha. So y'all heard it here first. Tune in tomorrow night for the Tuesday night flight, so we can figure out why Brian Robinson is not gonna be on the roster. All right, Marcus, man, I appreciate you, man. We're gonna move on to our next guest, man. Keep it rolling so I don't get fired for being late today.
Gotcha.
All right, appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
Take it easy, man.
All right, man. So to keep on rolling, man, we're gonna move on to our next guest. We got Coach Sutton from Frederick Douglass High School football coming on. Looks like he's still on the practice field. What's going on, Coach?
Hey, what's going on, Coach? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Okay, nice. Yeah, man. I just broke out, man. Hey, look, we get so caught up out here. I forgot. I pulled my phone out and saw your text. I was like, oh Lord. Yeah, man. But yeah, it's intense out here, man. It's super intense out here. So yeah, my bad for being late.
Nah, brother. I understand. I actually had to dip out of practice a couple of minutes early so I can get here and get set up on time. But like I said, I appreciate you joining us today, man. And we just want to jump right into it, man. Like, how long you been coaching, man, and what got you started in the coaching football?
Well, man, I mean, just growing up, I'm actually from Fayetteville, North Carolina, man, and just growing up down there, being in the the Boys and Girls Club, man, pretty much my whole life, man. I started playing like T-ball, man, like 4 years old, something like that, man, and just always playing, sports, every season doing something. And those coaches being those guys that were impressionable, on us young guys, all seeing them, and so when I got the opportunity up here over at Largo back in 2004, actually with Ray Crawford, man, I got an opportunity to coach under him, and so I jumped in, man, and that was, like really my first year, in 2004, and so I did 4 or 5 over there, at Largo, and so that was actually a really good experience, to kind of start out.
Gotcha, man. So you've been in
Did I
PG
lose you?
County since
Can
2004.
you hear me? Did I lose you?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, all right, cool. Yep,
All right.
yep. So, yep. So that was kind of my start there, And then when you look at I started over at Frederick Douglass back in '07. So I didn't coach the '06 year. They had some transition going on over at Largo, so I kind of walked away a little bit from that, man, and was able to come over to Douglass, as a teacher in '06. And then '07, I started on their staff, man. And I've been here ever since for the most part.
Hey,
Yeah.
so since you've been in PG County ball, like I say you came in 2004, man. What have you seen change in the landscape over the last few years?
Uh, '04, since '04, man, I would definitely say, across the board in every program is probably the numbers, the numbers of kids that are playing football. Back then, man, everybody had varsity and a JV, and they had the cut and stuff like that, man. And now, you're looking at programs out. You're looking at programs that, man, have not had JVs for like back to back to back to back years, and that was never the case back then, man. You had a lot of participation, in football. So that has really changed the landscape of, programs and kids, just across the board. So yeah, that would probably be the main thing I would say. You know, next would probably be just, the caliber of athlete. You had high level kids, back then, man. You talking about, in our county, and then we still got guys going to the pros, but you had like multiple guys, man, just like professional football players, playing in public school, man. And it was, and some guys, had professional football ability that might not even have made it. You know what I mean? So you had those caliber guys back then, man, and it was just some high level guys, back then. And then even over the years, and then you just kind of started to see it changing, when you got into, around 16, 17, 18, I definitely after COVID, man, it's just so different when you're talking about looking at a school, man, and looking at across the board the athletes that they have, and not saying they're not good, but when you talking about, man, having like a couple pros on the team, you're like, bro, you got like 2, 3 pros on one team. Back in the day, like Roosevelt,
Yeah.
back in dang '04, '05, man, they had like 3, 4 pros on the team. Which is insane. You never see that now, in public schools. So that's definitely a difference, that you can see, across the board.
On the classroom side, what's one of the challenges as an educator you have while educating and being a coach?
Yeah, so the thing about it is when I first started, I was doing math. I was actually doing special ed math, man, and that math thing, man, is crazy. I love math. That's kind of like my subject, whether it's algebra, geometry, algebra 2, I love, teaching that. However, it's a lot, it's a lot in terms of, the meetings and the preparation and the planning and all of that, and
Mhm.
so as an assistant, it wasn't as bad because I don't have to do everything as an assistant. But when I took over as head coach back in 2021, and having the opportunity to get dual certified in physical education, that kind of, opened the door for me to, you know, I would say just it's a lot easier, doing that physical education than doing the math, man. So, and just being with the kids, seeing the kids, you know, um, seeing the kids move around, yeah, the kids are in class and they're thinking and doing stuff like that, when you're teaching math, but when you're in PE and, a kid may not have played this year, he a freshman, and you see that kid moving around, man, you like, hold on, man. Like, bro, hey, man, you need to be out there next year. Like, we're going to get you in, the off-season program and make sure that we can tap into some of this talent that I see just because you might have just missed, you just missed the information and you just didn't get out there and get the opportunity to play, JV maybe this first year, but you really have some talent. So physical education just gives you that opportunity to kind of see kids playing different sports and doing some different things, man, moving around. And, when you can see the agility and the speed and all the stuff that kids do, playing, playing pickleball, playing anything, you know what I mean? You see it, you like, and you know what you're looking at, and you can say, hey, I could take that and I can, stick that kid in the backfield, man, and you can touch him in the phone booth, things like that. So it really helps out, just being down there in the gym area. And then also teaching physical training. I can get my kids in there and sneak a lift in, when I have, my football players, like, hey, man, we going in the weight room, man. We about to, get this lift in, so, and that helps as well. So, yep.
From a county standpoint, have you seen like any increase in like maybe getting funding or being able to fund the program a little bit better now than you did back in the day? Or is it the opposite?
Uh, I would say funding wise, man, it's kind of the same, um I mean, we don't get anything, we don't get any, money other than what the county gives us. Everything that we get, we fundraise. So for us out here, you know, I'm really big on tapping into our community and some of the resources that we have out here, and really working, some of those fundraisers, man, and man, really just leaning on the kids, to really do their portion, to really help, with the program because it gives them a sense of ownership, when we are able to get something, like, hey, yeah, we fundraise to acquire, a jugs machine or a sled pad or something like that. That's us. We did that. So, and kids can come back, you know, and say, yeah, that was us. 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, we have these things in the program that kids actually did the groundwork and some of the legwork to help us raise that money to get some of those things. So it's not that people are just cutting checks every 5 minutes, no, or the school is giving us money. They're not giving us anything. We have to actually go out and do it on our own. That's something that we have to do. So, and we're doing it. And I will say, we just did a snap raise fundraiser, man. Our kids did an excellent job, and I'm really proud of them on that. So I have to, do something special for them, take care of them.
Yeah, look, I definitely know the challenges of trying to, bring the funding up, man. Like I said, we got new jerseys last year, man, and that cost us $16,000. That is not covered by the county. We want jerseys. We got to fundraise for that money, man. So I know how
Yeah,
hard
no
that
question.
challenge
Yep.
is, man. And and,
Yep.
and
I
last year,
will
my
say,
guys did a great job
yep.
fundraising.
Yeah, I will say we've been blessed to have a relationship with Mike Hill and Dog Culture, and with the uniforms, man. He's been really
really a blessing for us because the costs are not really extremely high. When you're dealing with some of those other, high-end companies with all that overhead, man, the cost kind of jumps up a little bit, whereas, he kind of keeps the cost kind of reasonable for us. He's hands-on, man. I can reach out and give him a call, man, if something not going right, versus having to call a company headquarters or something like that. It just kind of helps us out a little bit better than, dealing with a big market name, Adidas, Nike, or whatever. Which, they got really good stuff, don't get me wrong, but just helping out, a guy that, is a county resident, county, damn student, football player, everything, went to Roosevelt. So that's been a great relationship that we have. And, I would actually encourage other programs to, just take a look at, what he has to offer. It might be something good for you, might not, but I would say that's been a blessing for us in our program because we've been able to save money and keep kind of money in our budget to do some other things.
Yeah, Mike is definitely a good dude, man. We've actually just started tapping in with him this year, um, this season. Like my program, we got a store set up with him right now. So, that's a relationship that we're looking to grow over the next few years.
Right, good. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, getting to your team this year, man, what are you looking forward to from your squad this season?
Well, over here, man, it's just I've been blessed, to come into a program where the mindset has always been, trying to get a state championship. We always, that's always the goal, the number one goal, and so just when we're in our all season program, everything that we do is all based on trying to, win a state championship, and it's all something that is really it's attainable, for us. And I'm not saying that it's not for other programs, but sometimes, pro kids go in or coaches go into the program, going into the season, and they already kind of know, like, man, it might happen, but they already got that mindset, like, I don't know, we got, this or that. That's never our mindset. Our mindset is always we can win the state championship, whether it's in a 1A, 2A, 1A, 4A, whatever we were in, we always had the mindset that we could win a state championship. So that is the number one goal. So we're working to do that. We got some things we got, fix and clean up and just kind of figure some things out, man. We ain't even start hitting yet. So, that changed a whole lot of, mindsets when them pads start popping.
Yeah,
you know,
right,
like,
right.
yeah, you thought you was ready, but yeah. So when we can figure some things out, man, get through, the scrimmages and all of that, and then obviously we were preparing for Coolidge, man. They got a really good team. We got those guys on film, man. They run around, fast, and all of that. So we have a very viable, solid, contest in week 1, which is actually their week 2. So we got to be locked in and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, look. I'm a PG County guy to heart, man. I had some people reach out to me, man, asking me for film on y'all, man. I was like, man, I'm not doing that to my PG County guys, man. I got to go
Yeah, man.
somewhere else for that, man.
Right. Yeah, man. Our cameraman, man, he out there, so he got it. He got the film. So
Oh man, look, Mr. Butler sent me so much
right.
film during the year, man. I appreciate everything he do.
Yeah, man. He a good dude, man. So, and that's another blessing too, man. Just having people like that, man. Selfless people, always willing to help whoever, in your program. Like those are your guys. Having people like
Hmm.
that around, man. You feel blessed because it could be the other way, where you having to pay people to go do what he does for free for us. You know what I mean?
Right,
So.
right, right.
So we're really blessed to have him, so we take care of him too, man. That's our guy. So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely appreciated all the stuff he do, man. Like I said, he takes so much film, man. I don't even know how he even eats dinner at night, man. He go out there and film so many games.
I know, man. Yeah, man. He get a kick out of it, man. He love it, man. So, I tell my kids, man, if they can have the type of passion that he has for getting out, filming, and doing all of that, if they had that type of passion playing, man, they wouldn't have any problem. So,
Right, right.
that's a passion that he has, and so when you have passion, man, you do it, man. You get it done. You travel. You go to New Jersey, New York, Western Maryland, shit, down North Carolina, getting filmed for other teams. He's
Hmm.
done that, not for us. He's done that for other teams in our county, just doing them a solid. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that is, like, and I'm like, man, like you going down there, like for real? I'm like, look, man, you grown, man. You're a grown man, bro. You can do what you want to do, but that's wow.
Right, right.
So that's cool. But yeah, but that's the type of passion that he has, man, helping others, and really like looking at high school football, man, and just getting that film. And, so that's truly a blessing. So yeah, we getting ready for those guys, man. And, that would be, one of our toughest games, I will say. When I look at that, their talent and the way they move around, man, that's going to be a tough contest for us, no question.
Wow. Coach, you have any kids you want to kind of highlight or shine a spotlight on before we get out of here?
Uh, yeah, I will. Number one, man, our quarterback, Justin Coley, number 5. Justin, Justin's a kid who, been sitting, behind other quarterbacks, man, the whole time he's been here, man, kind of waiting his turn, man, really being patient. He has really grown into, the role of being a QB1 this year. Had a really good 7-on-7 year, man, and has really matured, behind the center. Last year, man, last year sometimes, you look at him like, dude, like, come on, man, like you got to get going. But he has really matured, over the course of the year, man, behind the center. So he's definitely a kid who I think is going to have kind of a breakout type of year. We have Dorian Smith Stansel, you
That's
know,
my guy. Yeah.
him as well, man. He has all of the talent and all of that, man. I just got to keep him locked in and stay focused. He's on both sides of the ball, playing receiver and DB. So I look for him to have a really good year as well. And the guy that's playing opposite him at the other safety, Lanito Porter. Like a 6'1", almost 6'2" safety. He plays receiver as well. He finished the year really well. Had a really good game against Dunbar, man. And, I tell the guys, Dunbar was a team who hadn't lost since prior to COVID, man. And y'all took them dudes 0-0 into overtime, man. Anybody's ball game, so, you've seen the best that, your class had to offer, and you really played them, guys tough. So, and he had a really good game that game. So, he's definitely a kid who, could have some really big time starlight potential, man. Like he could do some really good things for us. And we got a captain, Gerald Carter, man. Gerald played little outside linebacker last year, man. We ended up moving him to strong corner. He put on some weight. He's a wrestler, so sure tackle kid, man. So and I say what Gerald brings to the table, man. Gerald is a leader. He's a vocal kid. He works hard. He's always on time and stuff like that. So, Gerald is that kid that he's going to lead by example. He's also going to be a vocal kid, and kind of get after guys, man, not afraid to speak his mind and, tell somebody when they messing up. Another thing that I see kids kind of shy away from, scared to say something, instead of just like saying something. And if the dude get mad, then that's on him. He like, you the one messing up. I'm just calling you out. And a
Hmm.
lot of kids are afraid to do that nowadays. Where back in the day, man, kids weren't afraid of that. And it might have turned into a fist fight, every now and then. But hell, that might be what it took to get jokers on point. But now kids are afraid of that. They're afraid of that confrontation. They're afraid of, especially with friends and guys who are popular, they're afraid to say something. And you can't be afraid to say something because y'all a team. That's gonna be the dude that's gonna let you down, when you need him the most. So say something, get on him, like stay on him, and when you're doing that, he gonna get in his feelings a little bit, but that's something he gonna have to deal with. So Gerald is a kid that is willing to do that for us.
Got you. Just a comment real quick. One of my coaches, Coach Mook, gotta say thanks to Coach Sutton and his staff for helping my guy Tayden get into school last year. One of my guys I coached in youth, a special kid.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Tayden was a kid, man. We coached his brother. Tom, man, Thomas. Thomas was on our state championship team back in 2014. He was a junior that year. Man, that was a special young man. Like, he just looked like a guy, man, you ain't want to see in a dark alley, man. Like, you see that dude, you turn the other way. And Tayden was a little guy back then, would come up and run around, And so, he didn't start here. They lived right over in the neighborhood, but he didn't start here. We went to DC schools, but when he popped in, it was like, man, where you been, boy? Like, and so we tried to get him going his junior year, but he had some academics things going on. And so, man, he was a pleasant surprise for us last year, man. He always talk about what he was gonna do, but over here, man, we ain't for all that talk. Talk don't win games, talk don't do nothing, but just project. What we want to see is what you gonna do, like and so when he got the pass on, man, we was like, man, that's a tough kid right there. And so we were definitely happy to have him on board, man. And he actually was a guy that was able to get in that backfield, man. Like last year, man, we got like 200-pound running backs. It was crazy. Actually, it was four of them. It was four 200-pound running backs, And so this year, man, it's a lot different. The guys are like 5'6", like 155.
Yeah, I wish
It
you
is
would have sent
crazy.
some of them running backs to me last
Yeah.
year. I could have used one of them 200-pound backs.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna tell you, man, that was a blessing, man, because you could just rotate them jokers in and out, and so at some point it's like something gonna happen. Like you gonna get tired of dealing with them Bama's, boy. I swear, So
Right.
yeah, so yeah, that was a blessing as well. So he was definitely a good kid to have, man. Yup.
I had another question in the comments. Coach Mark said, not talking bad about any other opponent, but do you think your season schedule gets you ready for that state championship run?
Well, we feel that having definitely Coolidge week one is a big game for us that really helps. We really can't do anything about our conference schedule. That's just kind of how the conference schedule is, and that's the conference schedule we always had, other than losing Potomac, which kind of hurt. We definitely like that bump because we always know that's gonna be a game for the most part. The
Right.
week two, Lake Clifton. Man, it was a struggle trying to find somebody that would play us, week two, that, didn't have 4,000 kids in their school. You know what I mean? So we were trying to kind of get somebody who had a really good program, really good kids, well coached, state champion kind of run type team, but was kind of near our level in terms of, classification and it was just a struggle trying to find somebody, so we were looking at even potentially being open until Lake Clifton kind of reached out and said that they would help us. So I know they kind of struggled a little bit last year, and that might not be a game that would really help. But who knows, man? Season to season, things change, man. They might get a couple kids transfer. It might be something different. I know Largo is definitely going to have a really solid team, and Gwen Park game is always a really tough test for us. So, and, in our region, we're looking at more of the same. The Eastern Shore, not sure what they're going to have going on, but we have North Carolina, Parkside, and Wacomico, which Waha usually have, here and there they'll have a solid team, year to year, depending. So just really not sure, but we just prepare for every opponent week to week to week. When we go in, we see Crossing, man. Crossing got some athletes over there, man, running around, kind of ran circles around our guys here and there last year. Maybe we had a little bit too much. But they had a freshman over there, man. That kid was dynamite, and so we
Mm-hmm.
had to really prepare to, kind of stop that kid, and Central had a good squad last year as well. Sarasville, they'll keep kids here and there. So it is what it is, man. We just gotta play who's on the schedule. And it is, it ends up being, what it is. But I will say the preparation for whoever we play is going to be at a high level. Make no mistake about
Mm-hmm.
that. It's going to be a lot of film being watched, a lot of tape breakdown, a lot of analyzation of what's going on, and we're going to have our kids prepared for what they are going to see on, from the film that we get, and we're going to have all the film. So we're going to have that.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have enough film for 10 years.
Oh man, oh, we're gonna have the film. So, as long as we have the
Right.
film, we can see, what they do, what their tendencies are, and then we can kind of, set up our game plan based on that.
Cool.
All right. Well, Coach, I'm gonna say, man, I appreciate you, man, coming on with us, man, taking some time off the practice field, man. You know,
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
from
sir.
afar, man. I'm all the way on the other end of the county, man. But I always follow you guys, man, because y'all
Yep.
one of those programs, man, that I've watched since I was in high school. To be honest, back when y'all ain't have no Wise or nobody else down there, it was y'all was down in the
Right.
country.
I know, man. I know. It's still country, man. But yeah, you got why is the city Upper Marlboro, and we the country Upper Marlboro. Right. I know, man. Yeah, so it's still country, man. And we love it, man. We love it down here off Croon Road, man. We got really great community, man. Really good, staff. Everybody is supportive. For the most part, man. I will say, we're getting our stadium built. I'm gonna turn a little bit. You probably can see some of these tractors and stuff, man. We're getting our stadium built that's gonna look, like you guys and stuff, man. So that's the one thing I will say that it has been not really bad, but it's kind of cramping us up a little bit with space. But when that's built, we'll be able to kind of loosen up a little bit, man. But down here, man, it's great, man. Great kids, great community. It's just a blessing to be able to coach these kids down here for real. So and that's credit to their parents and their people that's raising them, man. And so I feel extremely blessed to be able to step into this position. um you know it's great. Yep. It's work though. It's a lot of work, but it's great though.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot of work, man. But I'm glad y'all getting the field down there, man, because I know them Friday nights down Croon Road gonna be off the hook once them lights come up. So
Yeah, they will. They
I'm looking
will.
forward
No
to
question about it. Yo, everybody be at the Bojangles afterwards. So,
that.
or the Popeyes, right? Right. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yep.
All right, Coach, man. I appreciate you, man, and say good luck this season, man. And I think we playing y'all JV this year, so we'll get to see your JV squad, man. That's always some good bump for our team, man, and we look forward to that, man.
Yes, sir. Yep, we do. Yeah, I think I want to say that is week 3. The week we play
Right.
Sarasville. So yep, that'll be great. Yep. Thanks, Coach, for having me on, man. I really appreciate the time. No question about it.
Now we appreciate you for
No
coming on,
problem,
Coach.
man. Keep
Thank you
doing
for
what
your
you do
time.
down there, man.
Yep, thank you, man. Appreciate you guys.
All right. All right.
All
Speak
right,
to
y'all
you
have a
soon.
good one. All right, yes, sir.
All
Yep,
right.
have a good one. All right.
All right. That was Coach Sutton from Frederick Douglass High School, man. And like you say, down there on Croon Road, man. And, it's a different animal down there, man. They always going to show up. They always going to play ball, man. And he always got his boys ready, man. So it's always a good thing, man. Like I said, they took a crushing defeat in the States last year, man. And I think it was the semifinals, if I'm not mistaken, where they lost that overtime game to Douglas, man. But that, if you go back and watch that game, it was a great football game, man, a great defensive game. And like you said, Douglas has been a high level program for years and years out of Baltimore. So it was they definitely fought that game, man. Just came up a little bit short. So we had another guest that was supposed to join us today. The lady broadcaster, Miss Monet. She's traveling back from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, man, and she said she just couldn't get a signal together. So she's gonna join us next week to make up for midnight. And
Okay.
I know you got to get ready to roll, man. So go ahead and roll, and I'll close it out.
All right, cool,
Just
man.
want to
Thanks,
talk about
man.
what you got coming on tonight, though, real quick.
Oh, at 8:00 we've got the coach of Civil Friends, Chuck Rogers, jumping in the passenger seat with us. And then tomorrow, at some point, I don't know what the time is, we had one of the guys from Talk Nats Baseball. We had them on a Saturday morning show at 12 noon. So we're going to just re-air that broadcast either in the 7 o'clock hour or the 8 o'clock hour tomorrow. So there we go.
All right, cool. I appreciate you today, man. We'll touch base.
Definitely.
Good luck with the show tonight.
All right, man. You take it easy.
All right, everyone, man. I appreciate y'all hanging in there with us tonight, man. And another great show. Thank Coach Marcus from Law High School Wrestling and Coach Sutton from Frederick Douglass High School Football coming out, man, and joining us. Thank you to all my guys, man, that stay watching every week, man, and keep us moving with the comments. Appreciate y'all, man. We getting closer to fall season beginning, man. September 5th will be here soon, man, and I can't wait. All of our PG County programs we get our first scrimmage this weekend, man. So there'll be some action taking place on the field, man. And then the other sports will be coming in soon. I know soccer is starting up with their play dates, their scrimmage days, and man, it's that time of year, man. Teachers were back in the building today. School starts next Tuesday, man, and them pads are gonna be popping real soon. So I can't wait, man. So I appreciate everybody for checking in and hanging out with me today. But I got a hard stop tonight, so I got to get out of here. I can't do no overtime like John Thompson used to say today. Appreciate y'all. See y'all next week, man, where we got our guy, Kirsten Miller, coming in from the MFV network. And then we'll have the real lady Monet, lady broadcaster, coming on as well. So catch you guys all next week.